Hello, everyone. I'm Josh Oakes with smartsocial.com, and today we're talking a lot about social media and bullying and everything else, and I have an amazing guest here today. Today comes from the heart, so if you have a student in the house, go get them, please, and let them listen to this, whether it's on Stitcher Radio, iTunes, Spotify, anywhere else, or if you're on Facebook, go get your kids because we're going to talk with your students. Today's designed for students, middle school and high school. Today we have a guest, and our guest is Megan Hinton. She's live with us right now from Southampton, which is a southeast part of England. Now, I want to give a little background on Megan before we get started. Megan, I'm honored that you're here. But when Megan was 14 years old, she was tricked into sending a naked photo of herself over social media, and she suffered the abuse at school as a result. She was trying to fit into a new school after being bullied at her previous one. And she thought she was being pressured by a boy originally in the original text, the original message that she was friends with to send the picture. But in fact, she had been tricked by a girl from her year group, her grade, who shared the picture with other students, other pupils in her grade and all over school. Megan's now 19 years old. She's live with us right now, and she is all over the internet teaching kids how to be safe online. Now, parents, if your students are in the room and if you think, no, they're fine. That doesn't happen that doesn't happen in our city. Or I've had that discussion once with a student. Please go get them. Please go get your kids. Let them learn from Megan, 19 years old. If your kid is in middle school or in high school, please understand this can happen anywhere. We're about to dialogue about all kinds of stuff and hear from Megan's story. You can pause the podcast right now or rewind, but please go get your kids. I want to protect your students. And Megan is dedicated to this. In the next few minutes you spend with Megan, she's going to help you understand how to avoid this, how to have a healthy dialogue with your kids that's not a one and done, but instead a dialogue that is gentle, that gets your kids to be closer to you so they can avoid what she's gone through. Megan, thank you for coming to the video today.
Hi.
Okay, so Megan, let's get started. I mean, everybody knows a little bit about you. You've been all over. You've been on BBC. You've now basically all over the world. People have heard your story about how one sext made you feel like you were in a zoo. Talk to us about how it happened and how it made you feel.
So I just moved to a new school after being really badly bullied. I was just trying to fit in, and I was adding loads of people that I didn't necessarily know but knew of that I thought went to the school on social media apps like Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, the whole lot. And I got talking to a boy for about 2 weeks who was in the year above me. I'd never actually spoken to him in real life, but we'd smile at each other when we walked down the corridor. And I thought in that time that I built up quite well. I never had trust in a friend before, and 2 weeks might sound like not a lot of time to most people, but in a child's mind, when you're texting like all the time, every single hour, it seems like a long time. He started asking me after 2 weeks to send an image of myself with no clothes on, to which I said no to. And then for the 4 days that followed after that, it was just constant pressure. He was telling me that he'd tell all my peer mates that I was frigid and that I was weird for not sending things like that, and that everybody was doing it. And if I wanted to fit in, then that's what I needed to do. So after 4 days of constant pressure, I did send an image. After half an hour to an hour of sending it, I didn't hear from him. And then I got a Snapchat on my phone, and when I opened it, it was a picture of a girl in my year group just saying, "Ha ha, I got you."
Wow. So it was, in fact, a girl that was messaging you the whole time instead of that boy?
Yeah, so she had access to all of his social media accounts. They kind of worked together to get the image out of me.
So how did that make you feel?
It broke me, really, if I'm honest. I went into school, and for the rest of my time at school, I was sort of classed as a whore and worthless, and that people had seen my body and they shouldn't have. Something that's so personal to you. I went into a really bad phase of self-harming after I'd been clear for about 6 months. It affected my eating. I lost a lot of weight. I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't happy at all.
And thank you for sharing that story with us. What do you tell students about the risk. How do they associate the risk? Can you talk to us about that? If someone asks us for an inappropriate photo of ourselves, please explain to us the risk.
So the way I describe it is a lot of people have disassociated risk. So they think, oh, it's happened to her, but it won't happen to me. But that's exactly what I thought. I thought, I can trust this person, I know them, but really the only people you can trust is yourself and your family. And I should have known that if someone's pressuring you to do something, then it's not okay. But I didn't know how to say no. And the risk is always there. Once you've pressed send on anything, then it's out there, it's out of your control. My image is still out there in the World Wide Web, and it's still in circulation, and I will never have that back, and that could resurface at any time, just from one mistake and not thinking for about 10 seconds of my life.
Mm-hmm. So the disassociation of risk is what some students might see as, oh, it's fine, this is that one person. When really for you and any students that are listening to this or watching this right now, the people that are online, a lot of the biggest, from what we see from our data and our research, some of the biggest disassociations of risk are really that person on the other end might be your friend, but they might have had a bad day and they might feel pressured as well to share that. Or it might have been screenshot, or somebody might have been over their shoulder. So I want you to talk to us really quickly about, if you could, or as long as you want, how can students look out for other students? How can they either be a friend to other students, or what can they do in this instance?
I think just talk and be open with your friends, because they're going to be the ones that are going to give you the most sound advice. And I know it is a lot easier to talk to your friends than it may be a teacher or an adult or a parent. If a friend comes to you and tells you that they're being pressured into do something, then just advise them, say, if someone really loves you and someone is truly your friend and cares about you, they're not going to ask you to do something like that. I just think support each other and just be kind.
Yeah, that's terrific. Now we're going to get here in just one moment. We're going to get to the next question. How can a student and when should a student go to an adult? But really quickly, I want to share with everybody how very important this type of discussion is not to have with just a one and done, but rather this type of discussion is important to have with an ongoing. So on April 23rd, as of the time of this date, it's less than 2 weeks away, or 2 weeks or so. We have an online parent live event to protect students. You can bring your students to it. And I want to tell everybody just a little bit about this, because if we can save one child or help one student to be positive online, it will have been worth it. This is an event that happens April 23rd to 25th. As I travel around the United States, I give a 90-minute parent talk that students come to, and it's all about a lot of different information that's less about safety and scaring and more about the positive side. We tell you when your students should get a cell phone, when they should be on social media, how colleges will actually search for students, how to find out if your child has a fake or second Instagram account, how you can monitor your kids online in a positive way and show them and work with them, not using an app, but rather using a tool that everybody has, how to make Snapchat safe and fun. Then we have a positive on-demand session, tips that'll motivate your student to want to be positive online without parental pressure, how to be positive on Instagram and Snapchat, how colleges will search for students and applicants online, examples of good and bad online results colleges will notice first, how one adult lost a dream job with just one post, and then why colleges want you to start building a personal brand and website in high school and middle school in 8th grade. Now, this 90-minute parent talk, because I know everybody's busy, is given 6 different times. Yes, I'll be giving it live, and I'll be doing live Q&A, and that's because we want to give your family a plan. And Megan's here to help and show you what could go wrong. And Megan's here to talk to people about the positive side of social. And we're about to jump into what happens when you get off social, but I want to make sure social media is a purpose instead of a pastime. April 23rd at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time in New York, and then 6:30 p.m. in Los Angeles time. So no matter where you are in the United States or even anywhere in the world, we're doing it twice that day. And I will be answering questions like crazy all day. And then on the next day, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. So you can join anyone that you want. You will get all the information in one sitting. You can do it with your kids. We've partnered with schools all over the United States to do this. And then live event topics, you can see that. Welcome and resources and the good and bad apps, a 3-step plan. I've got a ton of stuff I'm teaching minute by minute. You can see how hard we've worked on this And we do talk, the last third is all about the positive sides of social media. And then also as a bonus, you get 70 experts that are in there. It's a wonderful event, and it's $10 to, as of the time of this video, it's $10 to join. But you can't just join this event. You become a part of our community so that we can surround you with a village. It's $10 a month. You can cancel at any time. But we feel that this is some of the best information that protects people all over the world, and we want to be a part of your family. That money goes towards me helping in a research and development type of way to protect people all over the world. I hope that you, as a listener right now, will take part in this, just to come together and also to learn in this event how to build a website for your kids. Okay, Megan, back to you. When should a student go to an adult?
I think if you feel comfortable as soon as you're asked. If I had gone and told my parents or a youth worker or my school teachers as soon as I got sent that first text asking me to send an image of myself, then it could have been stopped. I understand that it seems really scary, and a lot of the time, well, in my case, my parents didn't really even know that sexting was a thing, so the thought of me going to them seemed really scary and daunting. But this whole turmoil that I've had to deal with and will have to deal with for the rest of my life could have been stopped if I'd just spoken out.
And I'm guessing, and we've seen a lot of students will actually become more and more quiet if this happens. What would you tell the students that are becoming more and more quiet? But it's really hard to go to an adult. Let's be honest, right? I mean, that's the worst thing in the world. It's public speaking, it's death. People say that when you're an adult, but when you're a kid, it's very hard to go to an adult because there's shame in it, right?
Yeah, 100%. And you think most of the parents nowadays wouldn't have had a phone in their time, so they don't necessarily know the pressures that surround it. But, you know, a problem shared is always a problem halved. You know, and even if you're just sharing with your friends, yes, that's a problem shared is a problem half, but the adults are the people that can do things. They can give you the best advice, they can direct you in the right place. You know, the adults in your life, the school teachers, your parents, anyone, just want the best for you, and they're going to help you.
Yeah, and they're not going to tattle on you. You are not a snitch if you tell an adult.
No, not at all. You're just protecting yourself. You've got to put yourself first.
And you have to put your friends first too. If your friends are going through this, students right now, if you see one of your friends getting quiet, you are not uncool. In fact, you are very cool in my book, and especially in Megan's book. If you go talk to that student or tell an adult, hey, he or she is really quiet. I want to be their friend, but you, an adult, a teacher, a parent, an uncle, an aunt, whatever that is, might know more. I want to take this problem and half it, which I love that phrase. And how can we help them? That is an amazing thing. You are doing a gift. You're not tattling. Tattling no longer exists. You are helping people when you go to an adult to say, I see a concern. My heart or my gut tells me this. Okay, now let's talk about my favorite topic, taking a break from social media. And adults, students, if you're listening to this right now, there is a good chance, and I'm sorry to say this, but it's very truthful, your adult, your parents, even your teachers might be on their phones too much. We all have this problem. It's an addiction that not enough people talk about. So if you're seeing your parents on their phones, I can't even find mine. Mine's over here charging. But if you see your parents not being present with you, you have the right and the opportunity to ask them, hey, eyes here, please. Can we put that down, right? And I hear a lot of professionals say, let's have a device-free dinner. But what's more important is taking a week off. Now, Megan, I want you to tell us about you took some time off of social media. Please tell us what you did, how it made you feel, and what you got accomplished while you took that time off.
So after everything happened, I completely came off of social media just because I realized how dangerous it was, and didn't feel safe at all online. I didn't want to hear nasty comments. People can be really nasty behind a keyboard. So I came off social media for about 3 years altogether, on different apps, and it made me sleep better. I had a lot of less anxiety and negativity surrounding me. I wasn't comparing myself to everybody as much, but I didn't miss out on anything. My friends could still text me or call the house phone or meet up. You know, I didn't miss out on anything, and anything major, you know, when you're a child, gossip is like you want to be involved and you want to know what's going on. Well, my friends would just text me it if there was anything happening, and they'd show me it on their phones. But I didn't, when I was in my bedroom and I was feeling low about myself, I didn't have access to any of that, so it didn't make me feel worse. I just felt better.
Wow, that's powerful. So if you're taking a social media detox or a low-tech vacation, students, whatever you call it, whatever your parents call it, and do this with your friends too, by the way. First of all, my tip, and Megan, tell me if you disagree. I like to announce it on social media. I'm taking some time off. Here's my Instagram post. Here's my Snapchat post. Here's Facebook, or whatever it is. I'm going to take some time off for this amount of time, and I might be gone longer because I might actually enjoy it. I like to tell people that. Then mentally, I can go, wait, no one's going to, they'll know how to text me and call me. They'll know how to you can email too if you want to get old school. But I like to tell them that, and then I can free myself to jump off, take a vacation. They know how to get a hold of me, right? Is that something you did as well, or did you just delete it?
I just deleted it. I'd got to the point that I was so fed up of it and just when I came off social media, I didn't think there was a possibility of me going back to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I've realized that social media can be positive when used the right way. So I just completely removed myself, and then in person told my close friends and family, if you need to get hold of me, don't get hold of me on social media. You're going to have to call or text me.
And the people that really loved you knew how to get a hold of you.
Yeah, and the people that I wanted to know how to get hold of me, if I announce it to the world on Facebook, there may be some people that I don't want to hear from that then think it's okay to text me, when really I've been trying to get away from those.
Yeah, it's a good point. You're filtering out. Now let's review what happened when you were off social media. Because last summer, I had a wonderful experience. And I've been talking to a lot of high schoolers who say, yeah, we take time off every final season. We take a detox. We do something. Everybody has their own little trick. And students, there's a lot of little techniques. You can put your phone into black and white mode. One student taught me this. And it's in black and white, weird high contrast mode or whatever that is. It makes Instagram less desirable. You're like, ugh, I don't like Instagram now. And you can read all your emails, you can check your texts, but Instagram and Snapchat are a lot less desirable, which is kind of cool. I thought that was really neat. But there's a technique for everybody, as long as we realize that this is something that's hard for us as humans, as adults and as students, to manage. There can be a bad outcome. There can be a positive outcome. So talk to me really quickly. People were able to communicate with you. You got better test scores, you told us.
Yeah.
You also...
Yeah, I did amazing. I was in top 19 in my year group, in my whole year group, yeah.
Wow. Out of how many people?
Oh, there was about 250 maybe more.
Wow, so you're top 10%.
Yeah.
Top 10%. And you slept better. You scored better results. There was less drama. I hate that word, but it's kind of true. Less gossip, which is negativity slowing us down.
Exactly.
And you still had your core group of friends. You still hung out in person. Did you miss any parties?
No, not at all. I was invited to every single party. I think it actually made my friendship stronger, because when I left school, they still could text me, but I wasn't like on Snapchat, and I think social media, you talk to people more, I suppose, but it just made it, when I went into school the next morning, I was actually more excited to see my friends and like talk to them, and I made more time and effort to spend with my family as well.
That's nice. That's really nice. A lot of students that we hear from, and students, if you're listening to this right now, if you're quiet, or you don't want to talk to your parents, or you're frustrated, or you're harboring anything right now, let me be the person to give you that freedom to talk to your parents. And I know it's really hard. Talk to your mom, talk to your dad, pick that cool aunt, that cool uncle, whoever it is. Go to somebody that is twice your age or more, somebody that's trusted, that your parents approve of. It could be a teacher. It could be the counselor at school. All of these people are here to help you. All of these people are here to help you, and I know it's a little hard, but please take that leap to share with them, whatever that is. Hey, not having a good day, or just show them your phone. Just hand them your phone and say, this one, how would it make you feel? And ask that to an adult. It doesn't mean you're weak. It does not mean you're tattling. It means you're opening up that dialogue. And as Megan so wisely said, a problem shared with another person is halved. And that means that 50% of the stress is no longer on you. and you're now giving that up to somebody, actually, quite frankly, wiser. An adult does not understand. I know they don't understand Instagram, and that's why we tell parents, jump on Snapchat with your students, have fun with them, take the silly pictures and do the eyeball things and the dog face, do stuff like that so the students feel comfortable, but understand that it's pretty easy for a parent to pick up on Snapchat. They're not that out of tune. They have a lot of wisdom when it comes to a student, because they've been in your seat. They might not have had the same tools, but they've had gossip. Every adult has had a difficult time at work or at school, and they're here to help. So please consider taking that one leap of faith. Show your phone to somebody and just say, how would this make you feel? Boy, you will feel so much more relieved, no matter who it is. And then even if it's not your parents. Okay, let's talk really quickly. Megan, I want to give you last word. What would you tell a student, what would you tell a student that thinks this won't happen to me? Or maybe what would you tell a student that has a lot of anxiety? How can they get rid of that?
Anxiety, I think a lot of my anxiety came from social media and comparing myself. And now I'm older and I don't really care as much about what people think of me. I can look back and say, you are you, and you don't have to be like anyone else, and you can be different, and that's okay, and that's great, and that's what makes you you. And I think that's where a lot of my anxiety stemmed from. I'd say to any students that are maybe thinking about sending a photo or are being pressured or have heard friends doing it and want to jump on the bandwagon, just think that once you've sent that, you have no control over it. It can ruin your life. It can have devastating impacts. People have ended up ending their own lives over it. And just remember that anybody that really truly cares about you is not going to ask you to do anything like that.
Thank you so much. Students, I want to take just a moment with you. If you're watching us right now on YouTube or on Facebook, I want to do something awesome with you. And a lot of adults, Megan is so wise. Megan, what you've told students is so true. A lot of adults say what you do will end up online forever. Let's just take a moment and let me show you what that means. I want to explain the why. Megan, do you mind if I show you what I teach people all over the country? I want to explain to students the why. Let's go to Google and we're going to open an incognito window and we're going to search for me. And this is what ends up online, students. When people say it'll end up online forever, as I go around the country, I teach people your social media, your Instagram and your baby website that you build, that we teach students how to build, put your best foot forward, it ends up online. So for me, it's my public speaking page. It's my Twitter. Whoa, you can scroll through my Twitter and see all my tweets. It's my Amazon page because I've got a couple books out. The Facebook, the speaker. Here's my little Google site that we build. We teach every student how to build their own little Google site so people can get to know what you do and your video projects and activities. But everything you do online, my friends, students, I want you to know that all these photos end up and they can be positive, right? So this is me, 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 me. All these are me. This student is not me, and this football player is not me, and this guy is not me. There's other people that might not be you, but this is where problems can occur right here. What we post on social media can be put on our Google Images, which is our new resume. Now for Megan's going to be a very powerful speaker all over the world. Her problem launched a career. And I can see Megan right now taking her story and doing some amazing things to save lives, to talk to the world's biggest companies. She's going to do some incredible stuff, and I'm going to help her do that. But students, I want you to know that your Google results right now are your new resume. They are your purpose. They're not a pastime. Instagram and your website and everything on Snapchat can be screenshot and put online. And that's how all of this gets shared. And we want to make sure that you get into that dream college, that dream career, that internship, the thing that launched me to Walt Disney Studios and allowed me to run for public office in Los Angeles can be the very same thing that gets you into your dream college. And we want to show you how to do that. So please go Google yourself, take some time to understand that when your adult says that things will change your Google results, that they really mean that that's your new resume and that everything gets put online. And we want you to feel confident about that. Hey, Megan, I want to thank you for telling your story. You are awesome.
Thank you. I just hope that if anyone's listening to this that is going through something similar, they just feel confident enough to speak up.
Thank you. I really appreciate your time. For the rest of you that are watching, take another moment, go to smartsocial.com, learn about our free app list, take our free webinar to learn how you can talk to your students. Students, if you want to learn how to build an awesome website for yourself and really get on track, have your parents join our little conference. It's $10. We want to get your family on plan so that there's less arguments and there's more of a purpose on social media, even if that means taking a week off. I'm Josh Oakes with smartsocial.com. Thank you to everybody, and especially thank you to Megan today for sharing her awesome story. We'll see you guys soon. Have a great day.